Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for joining. David from Unqualified Critics. I posted a video yesterday that a lot of you watched, but unfortunately, and this is completely my bad and my fault, I have a new microphone. I didn't entirely know how to use it, screwed it up. The audio was too quiet. Very sorry, lesson learned, won't happen again. Today, I want to talk to you about those leaks from Arcade1up, specifically from GameStop, actually, of posting Arcade1up details. But I also want to talk to you about just what this might mean for the overall pricing strategy of GameStop, of Arcade1up going forward. We know that Arcade1up is concerned about retail pricing. Nobody wants to list a product for $300 to $400 and then see it 2 months later on clearance for $75. Now, in several interviews, they have downplayed this concern, saying that, well, it's just some rogue Walmart managers, or, that store happened to need to clear off space. But to kind of make it sound like this is an isolated issue, we know it's broader than that, not always $75, but we know these products get clearanced out a fair bit. And by the way, that's not anybody's fault. They're just large products. Walmart's name of the game is clearing retail space, keeping new product flowing. They just can't have big stuff sit for very long. This is, at the end of the day, a niche product. It's a large niche, but it's a niche. Not everybody's looking for a home arcade. But reason I say we know this is an issue Arcade1up is concerned about, they've talked about doing things to create scarcity, to raise the prices. They've mentioned this as a strategy before, but more than that, we can look at the actual outcome of what they've been doing, and the proof is kind of in the pudding here. We saw the Marvel limited release, 8,000 units, $400. They sold that very well. They took that as a sign of success, I think, and they didn't sell out of it, by the way, so I don't want to overstate the success here, but my guess is they're happy with that Marvel product because, by the way, it was competing with lower $300 cabinets at Walmart, and they're just selling it as one of the first cabinets available through Arcade1up.com. So my guess is they see that as a success. And again, looking at the outcome, why do I think that? Well, the next limited cabinet, the Black Series that they sold directly from Arcade1up, again, an even higher price point, $500, but they actually dialed down the quality a little bit. No longer do we get Sanwa sticks and buttons. We just get Sanwa sticks on the Capcom cabinet, and we don't even get that on the Pac Man cabinet.
I told you.
Which is a big reason why I haven't bought it yet, because I actually do kind of want it. Shout out to Dig Dug. Okay, and then fast forward to today. We get these leaks from GameStop, and we see 3 cabinets: Frogger, NBA Jam, and Pac Man 40th anniversary. What do they all have in common? They're all bundles with the cabinet, the riser, and a stool, and they're all $499. So keeping that price point as high as possible, I think $500 is really the high watermark for what Arcade1up is going to be able to get, outside of probably a pinball table. But that's a separate product conversation for another day. But $500 is clearly that high watermark they're shooting for. They did it with Star Wars, and it looks like they're doing it again. Now, do I think we'll be able to get these less expensive at retailers other than GameStop? Yeah, absolutely. There's no way NBA Jam is a GameStop exclusive. I don't even think the Pac Man 40th anniversary or Frogger are GameStop exclusives. Now, the listings that were posted that leaked did mention GameStop exclusive, but remember, that's the bundle with the riser and the stool. Now, are they going to sell an NBA Jam without a riser? Unlikely. The other 4-player cabinet, TMNT, only comes with a riser, and for good reason. Who wants to sit down and play a 4-person cabinet? That's kind of ridiculous. I think these cabinets look dumb without a riser. Maybe if you're buying them for small kids, but short of that, put a riser under these things. You're already giving up the space in your house. At least let it look like a proper arcade cabinet. I'm very glad that we're getting more and more of these bundles with the branded risers. However, the stool might work well for Pac Man. It might work well for Frogger. I don't really see a lot of people wanting a stool for NBA Jam. Like I said, you can't have 4 people sitting playing this anyway. What are you going to do? Have one guy sit and the other guy stand? It's a multiplayer cabinet at the end of the day. I wouldn't turn down a stool if it was offered for free, but I don't know that I would pay extra. In previous interviews, Arcade1up reps have floated out the $399 price point for NBA Jam, so I can only assume if that is the price, and of course that's subject to change. But now we're seeing it for $499 with the stool. Extra $100 for the stool, definitely not worth it. All that said, if any of these are worth $500 as a total package, it's NBA Jam. I don't know that anyone will pay $500 for the Pac-Man 40th anniversary. These are games that have been released elsewhere from Arcade1up. Yeah, we welcome the higher quality. Of course, we welcome the better looking cabinet, at least for most people. Might not be for everyone. I prefer the look of this cabinet. And certainly we like the lighted marquee. God knows I like that. But is that worth $500 when, a lot of us picked up Pac-Man and Galaga, the two marquee titles on this cabinet? A lot of us already picked those up back when they were at Walmart for $150, $200, $250. Do we really want to get rid of that and make room for this cabinet? I'm very much on the fence about this, guys. If it came with Dig Dug, that might be a different story. I don't see Pac-Man and Galaga being great complementary games. I know historically they have been. I know historically Namco has marketed these together and even done I think it was the 81 reunion or class of 81 cabinet that included both games. And that was a huge smash hit back in the day. So I get all of that. But Galaga's a two-way game. Pac-Man's a four-way game. I like having a dedicated Galaga cab, but I like how this cab looks. Fact is, it's Pac-Man. I doubt this will be the last Pac-Man iteration we ever see from Arcade1up. And kind of as I'm talking, I'm sort of talking myself out of it, even though I really do love how this cabinet looks. So I don't know that I'm going to pick this up. The wood grain on this cabinet, I think we can safely assume that design is finalized. We saw it at CES. We see it in this leak now. Of course, all this stuff is subject to change until it actually comes to retail. I'm sure this is basically what we're going to get with the wood grain. I think it looks good. I've read a lot of comments that people aren't into it, so I don't know if this is a polarizing design or not. To go back to NBA Jam for a second, that cabinet is flipping gorgeous. I love the orange. My only complaint here is that, and this is true really for all the cabinets that include a bundled riser, I don't like how they repeat the design from the riser to the cabinet, whether that be replicate the marquee design or, especially in this case, have that big NBA logo repeated twice on the side of the cabinet and the same side of the riser. You're never going to have these two pieces separate. I don't know why you would repeat any of these design elements. I would rather the bottom riser just be an extension of the top design. When you look at a lot of the custom decal work that has done well on the third-party marketplaces, places like eBay or just directly from a lot of these third-party mod websites, that's generally the theme. I think that's what the market wants. We want bottom risers to be extensions of the top cabinet, so it just looks like one big cabinet. We don't really want it to look like two pieces. So I don't get why Arcade1up keeps doing that. But all that said, this cabinet looks great. The control panel looks incredible. I love they kept the red and the blue bat tops. Looks awesome. There's just no way I don't buy the NBA Jam cabinet. I'm pretty much all in on that. Honestly, even if it is $500. But again, if this is the price with the stool, I'm going to bet you other retailers have this less expensive. Do you think Costco doesn't want to have NBA Jam? Do you think Walmart doesn't want to have NBA Jam? This is the kind of game that actually gets people in the door to buy it. And then lastly, Frogger. This is the craziest one to me for pricing. I like the look of this cabinet, but I know a lot of people don't, and my guess is if I did a poll right now, most of you really don't like how this looks. But I do, but I'm in the minority.
You say something, Chief? No.
Even still, $500 is a lot. I think, again, they're going for trying to anchor that $500 price point as their premium offering, get some extras with it. Maybe it's a bundle, comes with stools and such, but I don't really care. For this game, 3 titles, none of them really blockbusters. Yeah, Frogger's a famous game, but when was the last time anyone played it? Again, I like it. I'll probably get Frogger, but there's just zero chance I buy it at
$599 US dollars.
$500. But remember, there's no indication that any of these titles are GameStop exclusive. We only know that the bundles are GameStop exclusive. So if they're shooting for $500 for the bundle, I just doubt we're going to see a lot of these at $299. John from Arcade1up has said repeatedly in interviews, I think it was on one of the CES interviews specifically, when asked about the lighted marquees, they want to include lighted marquees for most of the cabinets going forward, but there are still retailers that insist on a $300 price point, and so those cabinets may not, or maybe even likely will not, get a lighted marquee treatment. So that tells me $300 is a magic price point for them. If it's $300 or lower, they can't afford, or it's not worth it to them, cutting into their margins, to give us the lighted marquee. So then what's above $300? Well, we know it's not going to be $308. It's going to be $350 or $400 as the next price point up. They've done $350 before with TMNT, but that's kind of my conclusion with these leaks and with these products configured as they are. I think $399 is the next $349, and I think just like we saw the Marvel Limited Edition come out, $400, tons of upgrades, and then the next batch of upgraded cabinets, same price or higher with not as many upgrades. I think we're going to see a similar continuity here. We're going to see these cabinets release looking a lot like TMNT, but instead of $349, they're going to be $399. And remember, TMNT did not have the lighted marquee. Do we really think we're going to get do we really think we will get NBA Jam for anything less than $399 without the bundle? No way. It'll for sure be $400. And yeah, that'll include a riser, but that's still going to be the price point. But with these all being $500, there's no differentiation between these prices. So we have to extrapolate that even Pac-Man and Frogger with the lighted marquee, with the branded riser, I think those are coming at $400, guys, and they might get discounted. I'm sure they will get discounted over time. But if 400 is the new 350, then that tells me these prices are on an upward trend. We already see evidence of this. And in other words, RIP wallet, get ready to spend some money this holiday as these things release into the summer and into the fall. My take on this pricing, if they upgrade the controls to be name brand controls, I'm all in for $400. If it wasn't for already owning some of the titles from Pac-Man, if they came out with this cabinet just in a vacuum and it came with Sanwa or Hap sticks and buttons, $400 I'm in. If it comes with the generic sticks and buttons and it just looks a little nicer for $400, I don't know. I don't know that I am, and I think I would start to wait for sales at that point. And I don't normally do that. I've talked before, if we all wait until stuff's on clearance, there's not going to be a healthy marketplace. But if prices creep upward and we don't get the quality of components, I think I'm going to have to start waiting for some sales myself. Let me know what you guys think about this. Are you up with, a little bit more money to pay for a nicer looking cabinet? Is there anything that you have to see before you start shelling out $400 or $500 for these cabs? And as always, please leave a like and comment and make sure to subscribe, guys. Our subscriber base is growing, but we want to grow faster. We want to hit that 50,000 key checkpoint. So if you enjoy these videos, please give us a subscribe and let us know. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you really soon.